Hello and welcome everyone to PW Only IAS English. So I'm back again with another lecture under the Udaan series for Prelims 2025, and today's topic is citizenship under the Indian polity. Though this topic of citizenship is very small, but considering the importance attached by the government of India to the topic of citizenship, thanks to the topics in the past like Citizenship Amendment Act, then the recent Pravasi Bharati Divas, Indian diaspora, celebration of Indian diaspora, foreign remittances. These reasons become the reasons, the trigger factor behind the UPSC's tendency to ask questions around this topic, be it in prelims or in mains. So let's get started with it without much ado. I'll try to instill an element of current affairs in this topic as much as possible. Recent policy announcement by the President of the US to do away with the birthright citizenship is another way of linking it with the current affairs, though it is of the US, though the trigger factor happens to be very remote. But what are we doing in India, right? So let's get started. We will be merging the OCI, Overseas Citizenship of India, and PIO, Persons of Indian Origin scheme, etc., in this lecture only. So a blend of static plus the current affairs you will find as a one-stop solution under this lecture insofar as prelims 2025 is concerned. For the PDF and other details, you can join my Telegram channel, the dedicated Telegram channel by PWIS team, whereon you can find the PDF. All the important updates about my classes are given on this channel, be it the daily current affairs class or the PDF or the questions or the tips about this examination. Everything you can find on this channel. The link of channel is given in the description box as well. Now, moving further, what are the articles that deal with the topic of citizenship? Article 5 to Article 11. Article 11 says the Parliament can determine the conditions of citizenship of India, renouncement of citizenship. That means all the matters governing citizenship of India are dealt or can be dealt with by the Parliament to regulate the right of citizenship, renouncement of citizenship, termination of citizenship, what is the good conduct required of a citizen, right? So these are the articles. Citizenship at the commencement of the constitution. Who all would be given the citizenship at the commencement of this constitution? Rights of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan because of the because of the distress under which, the duress under which, the bloodshed under which the partition of India took place, as depicted in the movies like Gadar, etc. Many people, out of their distress, they had to leave India. Okay. Now, if they come back to India, what will happen to their citizenship? As a related topic, it is coming to my mind, uh, the topic of Enemy Property Act. Thanks to the recent attack on one of the film stars, Saif Ali Khan, right? So his son, his father, okay, Pataudi Khan, whatever his full name was, 15,000 crore rupees worth of property, bungalow or palatial house. What will happen to that? So citizenship is the key to determine whether a person will be treated as enemy, and whether his property will be dealt with in accordance with the Enemy Property Act, or whether he would be treated as a citizen of this country. Okay, so these things are also related topics insofar as citizenship topic is concerned. Now, rights of citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan. Some people who have migrated to Pakistan, but if their son or grandson, daughter or granddaughter, they want to come back to India, what will happen to them? Okay, so rights of citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan, rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. Now here we have moved away from India Pakistan. 5, 6, 7. 5 deals with Indian citizens who stayed back in India, who were able to stay in India during before the 1950 or around 1950. Then this deals with Pakistan. This 8th onward, we are dealing with people who migrated out of India. Okay, Canada, US, and the other countries. Swadesh movie type things we are going to talk about. Persons voluntarily acquiring Indian citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens. If anybody voluntarily renounces the Indian citizenship, okay, acquire some citizenship of some other country by going there, okay, so that person will not be no longer be treated as a citizen of India, because he is voluntarily acquiring the citizenship of an other country. Continuance of the rights of citizenship. So these things are there. Now, after having dealt with the constitutional provisions as given under Articles 5 to 11, we are now dealing with Citizenship Act 1955, which was enacted by the Parliament, vide the power given to the Parliament under Article 11. Article 11 gave the power as per which Citizenship Act has been brought about, 1955. It recognizes 5 ways: citizenship by birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization, and by incorporation of a territory into India. For example, land enclaves between Bangladesh and India, land exchange agreement as per which 111 land enclaves that were there in India, village pockets that were there in India belonging to Bangladesh, they were given to Bangladesh in return for 51 enclaves that were in on the Bangladeshi side. Okay, so that were on the Indian side, Bangladesh gave us. This was a land exchange agreement. Land enclaves exchange agreement started in 2011, ultimately culminated in 2015. Now, what will happen to the residents of these villages which were on the side of India but they belonged to Bangladesh? After this thing, after this agreement between India and Bangladesh, the residents of these enclaves will be treated as residents of citizens of India. Okay, provided they meet, some of them, if they do not meet the conditions as incorporated, they will have to be deported back to Bangladesh from the region, from the territory that was there in India. Now, very simple point: single citizenship. Indian Constitution talks about single citizenship. Even though Article 19, persons voluntarily acquiring citizenship of India, or anybody on whom the citizenship by registration, descent, or naturalization is conferred upon, bestowed upon, he can be the citizen of India. He or she can gain citizenship of India, but that does not mean that Indian Constitution is allowing dual citizenship by any chance. Even though we are a federal polity, Article 1 says India, that is Bharat, is a union of states, but unlike the countries like US, in India we have only the citizenship. Okay, people of Indian states, people residing in various states of India, for example, I am in Delhi, hailing from Punjab. Basically, I am from Punjab. Do I need to apply for citizenship of Delhi? No. Even though India is a federal polity, having states having their tax rights, etc., but we have only single citizenship, single constitution. Okay, I have a right to freedom of movement throughout the territory of India, Article 19. But the same Article 19 has got certain exceptions which say that I cannot intrude into tribal areas, scheduled and tribal areas. Their uh, demographic equilibrium I cannot disturb. Likewise, for certain states like Manipur, where inner line permit system has been brought about so as to maintain the demographic equilibrium, maintain the original composition of the people, there the right to freedom of movement is not there. Similarly, Article 16, I can apply for any state government PCS exam, but for states like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and certain other regions, the descent document, the descent requirement has been kept. That means for certain sections like Telangana region considered to be backward, only the people having the certificate of Telangana, domicile requirement of Telangana, if they fulfill, only then are they eligible to apply for the state PCS exam. Okay, sons of soil theory basically. But all in all, having said that, we have a right to freedom of movement, etc. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. In general, place of birth cannot be the criteria for discrimination throughout the territory of India. But to preserve tribal thing, to preserve equality of opportunity for the localites, certain sections of constitution, they certain provisions of the constitution, they confer certain special privileges on the people belonging to that particular region. Now let's move on to the agenda. the crux of this chapter. Many of you find it difficult to deal with the essence of these articles 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, especially when it comes to citizenship by way of registration. As you see here, this is a little tricky. So what I have done is I have incorporated date based illustrations so as to explain to you, for example, the requirement that a person should have stayed in India for at least 12 years out of the 14 years preceding the immediate 12 months. It becomes very complicated, especially when we are revising for our prelims. To ease your work, to ease your task here, what I have done is I have incorporated certain date-based demonstrations demonstrating you from 31st of December 2024 backwards till 2010 or 11, right? 11 years, 12 years demonstration, whatever is required has been incorporated so as to make the revision part easier for you. It'll be, if you jot down those dates and try to practice them over years by changing the dates and playing with the years for at least 4 5 minutes, you'll be able to memorize that, right? Okay, so this is there. Now let's move further. Though the Indian, this has been taken care of. Now, what are the rights which are available to citizens only? A quick revision will not be out of place. Article 15, right against discrimination. Okay, citizens, certain privileges that are given to the citizens. 15, 16, 19, 29, and 30. Okay, right to freedom, etc. Protection of interest of minorities. These rights are available exclusively to citizens of India only. Sorry for the slip of the tongue. Okay, now Article 21. Our constitution is considered to be preaching or following the principles of Indian civilization. Atithi Devo Bhava. Guest is God. We still, our constitution also reflects this ideology. Article 21, right to freedom of right to freedom of movement, right to life and personal liberty is available to all the citizens, all the people on the Pios land of India. Even if you are a Rohingya, even if somebody is in distress and is migrating into India, so he or she can go to Supreme Court on the basis, on the pretext that there is a danger to his life if he is deported back to the original country. For example, Sheikh Hasina. If she can prove in the court of law in India that if she would be deported or extradited back to Bangladesh, she might face threat to her life. So our Supreme Court, Honorable Court of India, will grant her the right to stay back in India until the situation normalizes for her to go back to her country of origin, that is Bangladesh. Okay, so Article 21. Now, these rights are there. Now, another point is worth mentioning here. Unlike the US says that only the naturally born citizens of US are eligible to fight for the to contest for the president's election over there. But in India, any naturalized citizen can also aspire to become the president. That is why in US, Elon Musk says if given a choice, also he won't be able to contest for the president's office because he is an Afro-American. Whatever be his lineage or descent, we are not going too much into that. Okay, only Indian citizens can hold certain offices. Now we are talking about the privileges only. I have mentioned you one of the privilege. In India, anybody who is a citizen of India, whether by birth or naturalized, can aspire to become, can aspire to get elected as the president, okay, or the prime minister or any other. Now, only citizens can hold certain offices, such as the President of India. Any citizen, any way, in any way, if you are able to gain the citizenship of India, you will be eligible. The President of India, the Vice President of India, the judges of the Supreme Court, the judges of the High Court, the Governor of a state, the Attorney General of India, any such office. Okay, only citizens can vote in the Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly. Only citizens of India can become MLA and MP, be it nominated, elected, or anybody. Okay, so now the provision for Anglo Indians to be appointed as to be representing the other Anglo Indian community members, that provision has been deleted. Which was that article? If you are a sincere 24 carat UPSC aspirant, gold one or Bitcoin one, okay, do answer in the comment section, right? Gold doesn't have any value in the era of Bitcoin. So using 24 carat example or this phrase, which is a pet phrase of mine, as we call it as takiya kalam in Hindi, that needs to be replaced with something of the nature of Bitcoin or any other coin. Now, coming here, in India, this is there. You can see these are the public offices which can be held by only the citizens. These are the privileges which are spread across various legislations, eligibility of MP, MLA, CAG, etc. These are the articles which are conferring special privileges only on the citizens of India. Moving further, Article 5, Citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. Now tighten your belts so that we can get a hold of them once and for all. Article talks about citizenship for the people at the commencement, at the very start of the Constitution, that is 26th of January 1950. Under this, citizenship is conferred upon those persons who have their domicile in Indian territory, who were residing in Indian territory, and it is who was born in Indian territory or whose either parents was born in Indian territory, mother or father, either of them, or who has ordinarily been a resident of India for not less than 5 years immediately preceding the commencement of the Constitution. So, 26 January 1950, 1949, 1948, 1947, 1946, 1945. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay, so 46 onwards, if somebody was staying in India, that person will be considered to be the citizen of India at the commencement. From 26th January, 25th January 1946 onwards, if somebody was staying in India, complete 5 years preceding the date of commencement of the Constitution, that person will be considered to be the citizen of India at the commencement. This is last point. This is the last point with what it is saying. Okay, if parents were born in India, then that person will be considered. If he was himself born in India, suppose there is a person named Radhe Mohan. If Radhe Mohan was staying in India, born in India, it is fine. If either of his parents were Indian citizens, then also it is fine. One, two, and third, if none of his parents were citizens of India, still he was staying in India 5 years preceding. Okay, ordinarily he was residing in India for not less than 5 years preceding the date of commencement of Constitution, then also he will be considered to be the citizen of India. Article 5 gives you 3 ways to obtain Indian citizenship. Now, Article 6, citizenship of certain persons who have migrated from Pakistan. Any person who has migrated from Pakistan shall be a citizen of India at the time of commencement of Constitution. Some people, out of distress, duress, bloodshed, fearing for their life, they had to run for their life outside India. They are Muslims because their property was in India, their way of life was in India. They migrated back when the situation turned out to be normal. Maybe they were not here in India on 26th of January, but their entire history of life has been in the has they've spent their lives in Punjab part of India, not the Punjab part of Pakistan. Okay, so they will naturally come back to India. If they come back to India, they have to fulfill any of these conditions. Okay, basically two conditions, not any of these. They have to meet these both these conditions. He or either of his parents or any of his grandparents, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, they should have been born in India as given in the Government of India Act 1935. So as per the Government of India Act 1935, as per that map, if either of his parents or grandparents were born in India, undivided India basically, right? Then second condition, in case such a person has migrated before 19th July 1948, this has been taken to be the cutoff date because that is from when the situation aggravated. Okay, we have to decide some date so as to enable pre that date, post that date kind of a phenomena on the part of government authorities. In case such a person has migrated before 19 July 1948 and has been ordinarily resident in India since migration. Okay, that person migrated into India before 19th of July 1948. Earlier, he was residing in the Pakistan part of India, undivided India, but Pakistan side. Then, no, he migrated into India before 19th of July 1948, right? Or in case such a person has migrated into India after 19th of July and he has been registered as a citizen of India by an officer appointed in that behalf by the government of the Dominion of India on an application made by him. He should have made the application, okay, to an officer concerned, officer appointed for this purpose by Dominion of India. Okay, such officer before the commencement of the constitution provided that no person shall be so registered unless he has been resident in India for at least 6 months, for at least 6 months immediately preceding the date of his application. Okay, now if I want to make the application, let's suppose in 1955, on 1st of January 1955 I am making this application, then I should have stayed in India from 1st of July 1954 till 31st December 1954. 6 months before the date of making this application, I should have stayed in India if I am making the application as per 2B, Article 6, Clause 2, Subclause B. Okay, one of these conditions I have to meet. Either my parents, either me or my any of my parents or grandparents, they should have been born in India. They should have been born in India. This is one of the primary conditions. And in addition to that, I should have migrated into India before 1st July, 19 July 1948, or if I have migrated into India after 19th July 1948, then before making the application, I should have stayed in India for at least 6 months. Okay, so that is the condition. This was for the people basically who migrated into India between 1948 to 1950, 26 January 1950. Okay, because for people who were in India on this date, this is already there. Okay, this is for the people who out of distress had to migrate out of India when riots were happening, when the situation for Muslims was not as good, right? So that was the case. Now, citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan. This article deals with the right of people who had migrated to Pakistan after 1st March 1947. Okay, these people migrated to Pakistan after March 1, 1947. They migrated. See, here the situation is different. Persons who had migrated from Pakistan into India, okay, because there was a threat to their life. Some Hindus who were earlier staying in Lahore or Balochistan region, they migrated into India, but out of distress, right? Again, fearing for their life, they had to come to India. Here, citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan, they they had gone back to they had to go to Pakistan for their life, again Muslims, but they feel connected to Lucknow or any other region of India, any other place in India. Their land, their belongings, everything is in India. Their household, maternal, paternal household is in India. For this, they had to be resident in India for 6 months preceding the date of their application for registration. Article 5, 6, and 7 are relatively easy to understand, right? Main problem that comes to students is when revising Citizenship Act 1955, when trying to memorize that. Okay, these things are still a cakewalk, I would say. Citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin. Now we are talking about neither Pakistan nor India. We're talking about somebody who left for greener pastures. Let's say they are living in Russia or USA or Canada or elsewhere. Okay, this article deals with the rights of people of Indian origin. So Article 8, overseas Indians, okay, PIOs, etc. Now, outside India for the purposes of employment, marriage, and education. One idea has been striking my mind, but I am a little confused. Sorry for the interregnum in between. Should we start an MCQ series? MCQs, 10, 15 MCQs on a daily basis, or 100 MCQs? Or should it be confined only to polity? Or should it be polity plus current affairs? Or should it be for complete syllabus? Okay, that will be Nai Udaan, right? So this is Udaan. That will be a new kind of a flight to prelims 2025. So just let me know your thoughts, uh, because this way we are not, we are just seeing the knowledge that is already there, right? My task is to help you revise by highlighting, by pinpointing, by emphasizing. Therein the task will be a little different and interesting. Let me know. Polity only, polity plus current affairs, over or GS, 10 questions, 10 question papers, comprehensive ones. Okay, 10 question papers, 100 questions each, 2 hours of discussion, highlighting the mistakes, that the blunders that the students commit. Okay, so it'll be a good idea. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Only the YouTube comments will matter, right? Now, a person who or any of his parents or grandparents was born in undivided India but who is ordinarily residing outside India shall become an Indian citizen. Now see here, rights of people, a person who himself or any of his parents or grandparents, they were born in undivided India, but who is ordinarily residing outside India shall become an Indian citizen if these conditions are met. He has been registered as a citizen of India by the diplomatic and by the consulate office of Canada, for example, consulate office of US, wherever he is residing, in that country's Indian office, Indian embassy, he should register. Okay, so consular representative of India in the country of his residence, whether before or after the commencement of the constitution, he has been registered as a citizen of, let's say, Canada, and he should have registered with the Indian consulate representative, Indian embassy officials. Thus, this provision covers the overseas Indians who may want to acquire Indian citizenship and want to come back to India. Only requirement is they should register in the country of their residence, in the country of their present residence, that they want to obtain Indian citizenship. Any time limit? No time limit. Article 8 makes it simple for them, right? Article 9, people voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a country. Okay, this is like somebody who forgot the way in the morning comes back in the evening and wants to come back to India, then no person of India shall be deemed to be a citizen of India or shall be considered to be a citizen of India if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of any foreign state. Okay, so for this, you should remember Akshay Kumar, right? Some people may want to leave country, but country would not leave them because they are celebrities and they are not mango people. Even if they have eaten arm with the mango with Mr. Modi, just an endeavor to help you memorize. 9 is for Article 9 is for such people who might have eaten mangoes, in Hindi but who are not who are not mango people of India. Okay, so they have voluntarily acquired the citizenship of the any country, but they would not be considered to be the citizen of India. But if you are Akshay Kumar, खिलाड़ियों के खिलाड़ी, you will be treated differently. Article 10, every person who is assumed to be a citizen of India shall continue to be such citizen. Shall continue to be such citizen subject to the provisions of any law made by the parliament. Okay, so if I am a citizen of India by virtue of my birth in India, I will continue to be the citizen of India, provided I conform to the existing law of the land, Citizenship Act 1955, as it is updated from time to time. I have to register myself in the National Register of Citizens if that comes by. I have to register myself for Aadhaar if, for example, Aadhaar is declared to be the determining condition for me to be considered as a citizen. If I am residing in Assam, National Register of Citizens is being updated. If I am not able to provide my details, I would stand to lose my citizenship. Article 11, Parliament to regulate the rights of citizenship by law. Now, this is to make the task easier. 5 to 10 were inserted in the Constitution of India so that the citizenship law, as the Constituent Assembly wanted it to exist on that at that time, has been updated. Okay. Now, the Parliament has the right to make any provisions concerning the acquisition and termination of citizenship and any other matter relating to citizenship. Parliament can update. Accordingly, Parliament enacted Citizenship Act 1955. The very first Lok Sabha enacted this. Citizenship Act, it has been updated 9 times so far, okay, including the Act of 2019. Okay, 8 times it was earlier, now it is 9 times. Okay, 9 times. Originally, the Citizenship Act also provided for Commonwealth citizenship. Okay, anybody belonging to Commonwealth of Nations, as the British colonies, okay, the erstwhile British colonies, countries like South Africa, etc., they would also be welcomed into India as the citizens of India. But now this was deleted in 2003 on the basis of L.M. Singhvi Committee report of 2002, Atal Bihari Vajpayee era. So Commonwealth citizenship was deleted, right? 2002. Now, acquisition of Indian citizenship. The Citizenship Act 1955 prescribed 5 ways of acquiring citizenship: birth, descent, registration, naturalization, and incorporation of a territory by India. If India acquires any territory, by virtue of India's acquisition of the territory, the people residing in that area might be given the citizenship of India. Got it? Now, by birth, a person born in India on or after 26th January 1950, but before 1st July 1987, is a citizen of India by birth. First 26th January, date of commencement of Constitution, till 1987, 1st July 1987, irrespective of the nationality of his or her parents. If he is born in India between 26th January 1950 but before 1st July 1987. A person born in India on or after 1st July 1987 is considered as a citizen of India only if either of his parents is a citizen of India. Now here, one of the parents has to be, either mother or father, has to be a citizen of India at the time of his birth. Okay. Further, those born in India on or after 3rd December 2024 are considered citizens of India only if both of their parents are citizens of India. Now see the conditions, how they are changing. If you are born between, let me simplify it for you. If you are born between 26th January, you can simply write it as your notes, 26th January 1950 to 1st July 1987. If it is your case, let's say if you alone are born in India, alone, a person alone is born in India is sufficient a condition. As a condition, it is sufficient that only you are born in India. None of your parents have any relation with India. They are not the citizens of India, neither your grandparents, etc. Okay, irrespective of the nationality. Now, as we proceed, 1st July 1987, sorry, 1987, 1st July 1987 till 3rd December 2004. Either of your parents have to be citizens of India. Either your mother should be a citizen of India at the time of your birth or your father. Now, further, those born in India on or after 3rd December onwards, both the parents have to be Indians. Okay? Or one of whose parents is a citizen of India and other is not an illegal migrant. At least the other person should not be an illegal migrant into India. So what happens is sometimes people, they migrate from Bangladesh, and for Bangladesh people, India is like the US. Okay, in countries like US, when some illegal Indians used to go earlier, or in Australia to get the green card, Indian male would pay a certain percentage of money to a girl or lady there, to the agent there, to get him married to a US citizen, so that he can get that green card on the basis of the fact that he is married to an American, right? Same thing is what Bangladeshis do in India. They happen to marry an Indian girl. Yes, this used to happen in the northeastern region. Okay, this happens even to this day. So that kind of a thing, if they do to an illegal migrant, if for example a student born in Assam is the son of a father who is Indian but a mother who is illegal immigrant, that will not be considered. His citizenship would not be considered. Got it? The citizenship of a foreign diplomat posted in India, foreign diplomat, for example, David person is there. For example, Mr. David Fredley, anybody, whatsoever be the name. Okay, if he is a foreign diplomat posted in India, his son or his daughter would not be considered to be the citizen of India by virtue of the fact that that son or daughter was born in India. No, because he was, by the time foreign diplomat was doing his duty, he gave birth to a boy or a girl, okay, as a father. So that means that person would not be given the citizenship by birth. Or enemy alien, any enemy alien. What is an enemy alien? If India is at war with Pakistan, okay, then the citizens of Pakistan residing in India would be considered to be enemy aliens until we fire a ceasefire treaty. Till the time, technically, if we are at war, if we do not sign peace treaty with the nation, then that means we are at war technically with that country. So all the resident citizens belonging to that country would be considered as not just aliens, not just foreigners, but enemy aliens, right? Now, now comes the examples by descent. Descent means by the virtue of the fact that somebody related to you was an Indian at one point of time. Okay, was, here the term was, the word was needs to be focused. In this area, we were focusing on is, the present tense. Okay, at the time of the birth of the child, any of his parents is a citizen of India. Here, at any given point in the history, his father or mother was citizen. Okay. Now here, a person born outside India on or after 26 January. So here, somebody is being born, somebody is taking birth outside India, and his mother or his father was citizen of India. At a later date also, they can, that such children can apply for Indian citizenship. Now here, a person born outside India on or after 26 January but before 10th of December 1992 will be considered to be a citizen of India by descent if his father was citizen of India at the time of his birth. Okay, till between 1950 and 1992, condition is father should be Indian. Father's offspring. You can see Shah Rukh Khan here, Swades movie. I've just incorporated it so that you can. Child will be considered to be a citizen of India only if father happens to be an Indian citizen at the time of the birth of the child, girl or boy. 26 January, 10th of your December, right? 10th December 1992. But if anybody is born after 10th December 1992, any of his parents has to be a citizen of India for that child to be considered as Indian citizenship. Okay, after either mother or father, you can draw these type of cartoons or whatever for the child to be considered as citizen. Okay, or got it. From 3rd December 2004, a person born outside India shall not be a citizen of India by descent unless his birth is registered at an Indian consulate in the country of his origin, in the country of his birth, within 1 year of the date of the birth. Okay, so see, 26th January 1950 to 10th of December 1992. Only father, at least father has to be the citizen of India at the time of the birth of a child born outside India for the child to be considered the citizen of India. Got it? So, or with the permission of the central government after the expiry of the said period. Okay, unless the birth is registered at an Indian consulate within 1 year of the date of birth. Now, by registration, the central government may, on an application, register as a citizen of India any person who at least is not an illegal immigrant into India if he belongs to any of the following categories, namely a person of an Indian origin who is ordinarily resident in India. Now see here, anybody descent we have come. Descent means even if you are not in India, but your lineages, your father or mother were somehow related to India. 26 January 1950, 10th December 1992. 10 December 1992 till 3rd of December 2004. 3rd December 2004 onwards, person's birth outside India should be registered with the Indian consulate for that person to later on become the citizen of India. Child's birth, the way the baby is born within 1 year of the birth of the baby, okay, the date on which the baby is born, within 1 year from the birth of the baby, if the parents were residing in Canada, their baby's birth should be registered in the Indian Consulate Office. Consider the Indian Consulate Office to be the municipality of India in that country. Like we registered the birth in municipality, we have to register the birth outside India in the Indian Consulate Office. So that later on that child, when he grows up, can automatically get the citizenship of India by descent. Descent is still an automatic method of gaining citizenship. Okay, first is by birth, second is by descent, by virtue of the fact that your parents were Indians. Now third is by registration. This is relatively tough. That is why I said in the beginning, this is what consumes a lot of time. Okay, now by registration, the central government may, on an application by a citizen of India, to obtain citizenship of India, for any person, central government can grant this, provided a person of Indian origin who is ordinarily resident in India for 7 years before making application for registration. Let's assume a person named Sham is making application on 1st of January 2025. Okay, he should have stayed in India from 2018 till 31st December. 7 years before making this application, he should have stayed continuously in India for 7 years. Now you would ask me, sir, how is this possible? Uh, Tourist visa is granted for 6 months, 180 days. Okay, business visa is granted for 180 days. So how can a person stay? Under the PIO scheme, Persons of Indian Origin scheme, under the OCI, Overseas Citizens of India card, lifetime they can come and make multiple trips in India. Okay, so on the basis of that, they do not require even to inform the local police. When a foreigner comes, his visa is for certain city. For example, if David Coleman Headley, who planned the attack on 26/11 on the Mumbai, these Lehman Cafe or whatever, Taj Hotel, etc., which were at the center of the thing. Okay, so his visa was for Mumbai and Pune only. He can go to Mumbai and Pune alone. If he goes to Nagpur and his visa passport is checked by the Nagpur police, he will be arrested. Right? But the PIOs, persons of Indian origin, OCIs, they can move around India freely. They do not require visa every time they come here. So this is how they can stay in India for 7 years before they finally apply for Indian citizenship by way of registration. Okay. Second condition, okay, they have to any of the following categories. If he belongs to any of the following categories, category A, then category B, a person of Indian origin who is ordinarily resident in any country or place outside undivided India. C, a person who is married to Indian citizen, who is married to citizen of India as and is ordinarily resident in India for 7 years before. Now here the condition is more or less the same. Okay, the person himself is making the application. Person himself hasn't married to any Indian citizen. Here, Katrina Kaif and Vicky Kaushal, yes, names are correct. I'm not into too much into movies and all. No, Katrina Kaif is not an Indian citizen. Okay, she is not an Indian citizen. Okay, she gets married to Vicky Kaushal. Before she registers herself as the citizen of India, okay, she should have stayed in India for 7 years. That is again from 1st of January 2018 till 31st of December 2024 for her to apply for Indian citizenship. God knows whether she would want to, because in India they don't want to pay taxes. When Amitabh Bachchan is going to Panama Canal and setting up a company along with Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, even as Abhishek Bachchan was shooting Dhoom 2, Dhoom 3 in the US, Mexico. So why would they want to register? Because they have to pay a lot of tax in India. He will earn, she will round trip the money to other countries. This is just on the lighter note. Minor children of persons who are citizens of India. Okay, minor children of persons can apply in the minor children category. Okay. E, a person whose parents are registered as citizens of India. A person who or either of his parents was earlier citizen of independent India and is ordinarily resident in India for 12 months immediately proceed, applying for the immediately before making an application for registration. A person whose parents are registered as citizens of India can also register himself as a citizen of India. Lineage again, okay, but the area here is registration, because that person himself hasn't stayed in India for the required amount of time, 5 years, etc., as seen in the descent category, the citizenship by descent category. Sixth one, a person who himself or either of his parents, not both the parents, was earlier a citizen of independent India and is ordinarily, that person is now ordinarily resident in India for 12 months immediately before filing for applying for Indian citizenship. Okay, now see here, illustration for Ram applying for India citizenship on 1st January 2025. Ram should be having an OCI card from 1st January 2019 till 31st December 2024. Okay, and he should have stayed in India continuously from 1st January 2024 till 31st of December 2024. So that completes this clause. OCI card holder, he should be OCI card holder for 5 years, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, right? Now, why 24? Because last 12 months he should stay continuously in India. Okay, so first condition of having had the OCI card for 5 years, right? OCI card for 5 years gets fulfilled, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5 years plus 12 consecutive months in India before actually applying for Indian citizenship. So this is the criteria. A person who has been registered as OCI card holder for 5 years and who is ordinarily residing in India for 12 months before making an application. Got it? This can be total 5 years also, not 6. If we write here 31st December 2024, okay, if we write here 2020, then also the person will be eligible. 5 complete years, out of which 1 year should be spent continuously in India. Done? Now, by naturalization, Indian citizens, through the process of naturalization, can be acquired by a foreigner who at least should not be an illegal immigrant, and she must follow all the conditions given below. She must not be a citizen of the country where Indians are barred from becoming citizens. For example, if Donald Trump bars Indians from becoming citizens in the US, then citizens of US cannot apply for citizenship of India by naturalization. Okay, that person intending to get Indian citizenship must first revoke or get the passport of the US revoked, passport scrapped. He should say that he is surrendering the US citizenship. He must not be a citizen of country where Indians are barred. Okay, a person must be ordinarily resident of India for 12 years. That is 12 months immediately preceding before making an application and 11 years in aggregate in 14 years. See it this way. Now I have kept an illustration here. 12 months consecutively. If a person is making an application on 1st January 2025, he should have at least stayed in India from 1st January 2024 till 31st December plus any 12 years from 2010 to 31st December 2023, 14 years. 2010 till 2023, 1st January 2010 till 31st December 2023 is 14 years. Out of these 14 years, this person should have stayed in India for 12 years, right? Then another 12 months consecutive period from backwards from the date of application. What is the date of application? 1st January 2025. This is the toughest way. So many years to be spent in India before actually becoming eligible to gain Indian citizenship. He must have knowledge of at least one language. I'm so sorry. He must have knowledge of at least one language specified in Schedule 8. Such a person should intend to reside in India or continue to work for Government of India. Okay, maybe or may not be. If he is the government employee, for that government employee, the period of government service would also be included. Okay, period of government service would also be considered. So this is all in this chapter now. Such further, the government of India may waive all or any of the above conditions for naturalization if, in the opinion of government of India, the person has rendered distinguished services to the nation. Okay, for example, if Shashi Tharoor goes and earns accolades for India, if Saina Mirza or whatever the name of that badminton player was, later on she gets separated from the Pakistani player because of what is happening in Pakistan, and wants to come back to India, and she's won gold medal at Olympics. Government would welcome such people, right? We are becoming more open to these things, that people from all walks of life, if they have made a mark in their life, they are welcome. In the field of science, if somebody has won Nobel Prize, etc., so government can waive off all these conditions of naturalization and will welcome him or her with open arms, right? By incorporation of territory, if any foreign territory becomes a part of India, the government of India specifies the persons who among the people of territory of India shall be citizens of India. Such persons become the citizens of India from the notified date, whatever be the date of annexation or cut-off date, as we have seen, like 19th of July 1987, 1st December 1992. Any date could be kept depending upon the circumstances of the time. Okay, so this is there. Now, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, the latest amendment was brought about to let the people who have illegally migrated from these countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, like the Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis, Jains, Buddhists, and Christians, if there is a fear of these people belonging to these communities being persecuted in Balochistan, Bangladesh, by the Pakistani army or by the Bangladeshi army, these people are then welcomed to India. Government says that okay, we will save your life. We won't deport you back or extradite you from India. The act reduced the mandatory 11-year requirement to 5 years. Any legal proceedings with respect to illegal migration under the Foreigners Tribunal, etc., will be waived off. Okay, this will be waived off. Then, Overseas Citizens of India card. I have very succinctly, very briefly mentioned all of this over here. Okay, you just go through it, merger of PIO and OCI scheme, etc. Very briefly, I have mentioned here, and you can rely on this piece of information. Okay, no need to go through any of the magazines, etc., for this particular thing. Why do I want you to revise this? Because we have just celebrated our Pravasi Bharati Divas with a lot of fanfare. If you have been following my current affairs classes, you would have definitely come across this around 16 or 17th of January. So this will supplement that understanding also, even though we had dealt with this issue in that class also. Now, having this as a ready reckoner at the back of the revision of this chapter helps you understand the 11-year, 14-year requirement. What is OCI card? What was PIO card? These schemes were brought about and later on they were merged together, right? So this is all in today's lecture. As I said, for the PDF, you can subscribe to this Telegram channel. PDF will be shared in a short while from now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day. In the next class tomorrow around the same time, 6 p.m., we'll be meeting with another lecture. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you.